because at 8 a.m. there may be a pullback, so let's just see what happens, I suppose. Right. Morning, everyone there in the YouTube. So yeah, looks like the 4-hour created support. Looks like the 4-hour respected this area to continue moving bullish. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to take a look left and see when we break above 142, where's going to be our next zone? Where's going to be our next target? Oh yeah, above 142, we got some nice clean traffic. Got a nice clean range at that point. I think a good conservative target is going to be 142.280. Is that like 28 pips away? Yeah, around 25 pips away. It's pretty good range. And then if we can break above that, then we can continue on to 142.540. That would also be nice. So yeah, let's wait and see over here. Morning everybody in the YouTube. Welcome to another London session live stream from the 13th of January 2021. So I mean, when I first woke up, because I woke up a little bit later than I usually do actually, so I noticed that the 30-minute 7 a.m. closed above this resistance here. Taking a look on the 15-minute, the 15-minute candle also closed above. I think a good buy could have been based on the close. I mean, in theory, it's only really moved around 8-9 pips. Not really a lot. The range is only around 10 pips anyway. But in theory, you know, this was the high from yesterday. So in theory, you know, you're looking for the retest of the high. But I think if GJ is going to continue moving bullish based off the daily, then I think 142... 280 and higher on could be incoming, but we'll have to wait and see. Morning. So let's let's take a look at the weekly here for a second. So if we look at the weekly candle's got 2 days left. We're not sure if it's going to head all the way up to fill this wick over here yet. You know, we're not sure about that. But it's a potential target if the weekly is going to continue moving bullish. Right? It's a potential area that we could reach. So let's take a look on the daily. daily also could come up to this area here, but it needs to break the high of the previous daily candle. If it can break the high at 142, then it can continue on, I think, at that point to 142, 200 or 300, and then further on. So I think we haven't quite seen the volume yet of what can come. But at the same time, we want to be making sure at that point that price is giving us confirmations on the smaller time frames as well. So we did have a breakout. The second 15-minute candle is coming to a close over here in 2 minutes. Seems as though the 5-minute is creating a high, is pulling back. Yeah. I think what's going to be obviously the best outcome in this particular situation, since we're coming into like the last 15 minutes before London Open, I wonder if we're going to, retrace back to this area to create some support or something before continuing further up. It's something that could happen. We also know that, we've got the 1 hour to close here soon. The 1 hour has technically already retested the high. So from a 1 hour perspective, this is the this is the high, 141,940, but technically it's retested that already. But this area over here is on the 30-minute. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. Seems as though the 15-minute candle is trying to close a bit stronger here in the last 20 seconds. Okay, so the 15-minute candle closed bullish. 30-minute candle's got 15 minutes left. I think, yeah, see, if I wanted to take buys, it probably would have been over here. But at the same time, there just wasn't a lot of range in this area. So we'll see. My only issue as well is that we haven't. So since 6:45 a.m., obviously we've been moving bullish, perfectly fine. But typically we do see that pullback at 8 a.m. So I mean, the best outcome is some support in this area because this was a previous support, and then I think it's going to be a great idea to look for further upside. But either way, I think buys above 142 are going to be the best possible range that we have, because it's like a 25 pip range. Let's take a look on the 5-minute, see what's going on. So we had some support created, but it's a very weak 5-minute candle. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. They're gonna be disciplined here, and then I'm gonna wait to see how we set up. Since we are closing above this area, but we're coming into London open time soon here in the next 15 minutes. So let's see how we get on here. I think if this 5-minute candle breaks the high of the previous 5-minute candle, it can continue moving bullish to fill that 15-minute wick. But yeah, let's just hold on for a minute. We have a lot of problematic areas in this zone here too. We have a lot of issues to the left. But I think buys is the bias here for sure. I don't think anybody should be looking for sells at this particular point in time. Yeah, if this 5-minute candle breaks the high of the previous 5-minute candle over here, I think it's going to continue moving bullish to fill the 15-minute wick. Yeah, it's a small range. I think, yeah. See, I think we just broke the high on the 5-minute. Oh yeah, the 5-minute closed bullish. I think it's going to continue moving up at this point. Yeah, it should come on and fill the wick. The thing is as well is we have a lot of issues in this range. We have a lot of issues in this area. We have an issue here on the 30-minute. We have resistance right over here. Let's measure this range. Yeah, see, from a 15-minute perspective, this area here is, the area where we could have some serious issues. But from a 30-minute perspective, the resistance is right over here. So, yeah. I think if the 1-hour time frame can obviously close above this resistance that it has, then I think we can start to look at that point for, further anticipations. I think the best possible outcome that I'm going to look for is some potential support, or like a break of the high to continue on, and expect momentum to continue us moving bullish. But we'll see here.
I think if you look at like if you go on the left candles on the daily,
Mm-hmm.
there's a candle around the second of September. If you drop to the 1 hour, you can see we've had like a messy range. So probably we might see some sort of rejection before we continue bullish. So if you drop to the 1 hour, you'll be able to see.
Oh yeah, I see this. Yeah, I see this consolidation area. Yeah, it seems as though we need to kind of get above this consolidation area, and then we have the nice clean move to the
Yeah,
top. I would agree with that. Um,
and then like on the daily, I'd say because I was looking at it, I'd say that there's a high chance that we're gonna fill that. Is it a weekly or a monthly?
I think it's the weekly Wickfield. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I think it's all possible. I think just for the moment, this range here, I would agree, is a little bit like the buys made sense, but I mean there was only 10 pip range. I think obviously the best buys that we can have are going to be above 142. So I think yeah, I think while it's in this range, I'm not so worried. But I want to see how London Open reacts, because if London Open, let's say, doesn't quite pull us back and we're continuing on, then we need to see if we can wait for like a candle to close above 142 and then expect some form of continuation. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just wait here for London Open. Yeah, see this candle, it only really moved up around 10, like 9, 10 pips. It's not really a lot. And then this 15-minute candle is coming down now. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good idea to wait to see how we react to this level. Plus, we've got 5 minutes left to London Open. This could even be the pullback, just before London Open, and then we continue on. So, because we are retracing quite hard. Maybe it was a good thing I missed the buys. Oh yeah, look at this. 15-minute candle broken the low. See what it's gonna do. Yeah, we just need to make sure we're closing above this area here, 141,860. And then if London Open can, wick down or create some support, I think it's going to still be a good idea. But just trying to think what happens if we come back in the range. If we come back in the range, I mean, sells, they don't, if we can remove this now, but sells don't look, that great really. 13 pip range, 9 pip range.
I think like clean sells probably it'll be anywhere below the 141,600 because then we have like that nice clean candle to mirror on the 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 141, 540, 550 is gonna be the best sells. But I'm not sure we're gonna retrace that much, you know.
Yeah.
I think based off the weekly, I think we're just gonna continue on bullish. So yeah, it depends as well, because this daily, if you actually look at the daily, the daily time frame didn't close above this resistance here at 141,775. So in theory, we're not sure whether it's going to continue moving up or it's going to start to reject in this area, maybe retrace a bit and then continue, right? So the only way we know if it's going to continue moving bullish is if it breaks the high, because let's say we was on a 30-minute time frame and I see the same structure, that's the type of idea I'd have. Okay, so we didn't break it, so the only way we're going to break it is if we break the high of the previous daily candle and continue on. That's the only way that you would expect price to do that. So seems like it's retracing a bit now.
Yeah, it just seems like this week, like pre-London, has just been reacting off anything to the left, and kind of a bit the same as yesterday. Obviously, it was a bit later today, but we got this like we pulled back a little bit, and like I suppose it was good that you didn't get in that setup in the end, because it was probably break even again.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, oh, look at this now, guys, coming back in the range here. So where's the buys gone? Where's the buys? Oh man. Well, I mean, if it does that, then actually it gives us an opportunity to look for a further break, because it seems as though we're reacting to this area here to the left. If we stretch this left, we have a zone here. It seems as though it's reacting off this level. So if it closes back in the range, then this would become our new range at that point. So, and then I think we can remove this zone because we've kind of already rejected it, and then this becomes our range. As if we come back in this range in 30 seconds time, then that's going to be the new range here.
I think as long as we respect the 141,770, we could be just see like some sort of a retest to that previous support, and then a continuation to the upside maybe.
Yeah, these are all good. Yeah, these are all possibilities for sure. Let's just wait to see.
Because obviously we've had that bullish
back in the range.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit tricky now.
Back in the range at this point. So let's just remove this, make this a bit more neat. So now I would look at this as now we're still in a range. Let's take a look at the 15 minute. So yeah, look at this 15 minute was a fake out. But let's measure. So the thing is, even if we're looking for sells, because based on the fake out, there's only like 9-10 pips in this range, So I think a good sell is going to be below 141,770 for price to continue down. So I think it's good as well that, didn't jump into the buy just because price was moving bullish. Because, again, these sort of days can be a good lesson into waiting for candles to close and waiting for, some form of confluence. But I think price should, if London Open takes us down to support, right, then, after London Open, we could see that further continue. Because what may happen is price may need to, make a deeper liquidity grab before we continue higher. Because we've moved up quite a bit in a sense. But from a higher time frame perspective, it made sense for us to continue moving up, because we have support created in the Asian. We broke above that Asian high, right? So, in theory, we should continue moving up. The 1 hour also closed below this resistance here. Take a look on the 30 minute. Yeah, so the 30 minute, it reacted off this level. It closed back below this area here. Take a look on the 15. Yeah. So, I don't necessarily think we can look for buys until we're getting a nice close above 141.880 at this point. So I think it's going to be a little bit of waiting here. Let's take a look at gold while we wait. Let's take a look at gold. Let's do some fresh analysis here on gold. So looking at gold, seems as though the previous daily candle went bullish. It broke the high. But if we look, it seems as though it's reacted off this area to the left-hand side. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, I would say that's okay to remove this. So looking on the 4 hour, it seems as though we've hit an area where we're having some issues. The previous 4 hour went bearish. The current 4 hour broke the high, is now coming down to break the low. I mean, in theory, we have clean candles to the left-hand side on gold for gold to continue bearish. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So we do have some nice clean candles hit on the 1 hour, but we need to break below this support that we have at 1855. It's coming up to this support now. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah. So once we break below 1855 on gold, then man, what a move could be incoming today. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. Take a look at the 15. Yeah, this is a strong support. So I think a good conservative target is going to be right over here, 1847, based on the 15-minute. That's going to be a good area to just get profits, get out. Even 1852, 600, 20 pips away, and then 60, 70 pips away. So I think that would be a good move there. Yep, GJ's on its way to support right now. So interesting. Interesting. So yeah, keep an eye on gold. Take a look at Euro NZD. Euro NZD. Yeah, nice. Okay. So looking at the daily, seems as though daily is reacting off a support over here at 1.68800. Let's take a look at the 4 hour, because we are still in a downtrend. So looking at the 4 hour time frame, seems as though we created a support, or we tapped into the support over here to move bullish. The issue is we have an area over here that needs to be respected for the 4 hour to continue moving down. Take a look at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so looking at the 1 hour, still we're at this area here now. So I mean, it just depends how we react. We had a resistance over here. It did a breakout late hours of the Asian session, early hours of pre-London, before trying to continue moving bullish. Yeah, 30-minute created support. I think a great buy would have been the break of this high to continue up. Yeah, that looks like a good buy there. Stop loss was big, but made sense. But if we take a look on the 30-minute, I mean, in theory, because the 30-minute already reacted to this area to the left-hand side, this 30-minute candle, once it closes, the next one should also continue moving bullish, because then we have a nice clean range on the 30-minute when it gives us more information coming up to this area over here. So let's measure this range. This is around 17, 18 pip range. So I think that's going to be a pretty good area to take buys on Euro NZD, just for like a paper trade or something. But we'll see. What's GJ doing? Oh, GJ's dumping. Why is nobody telling me this stuff? You need to be going, hey, GJ's going crazy, man. Oh, look at this. It's coming below the range, and it's a bit mad what's going on here. Let's check if we've got any...
Like I'd say if it closes, I mean, obviously it did break that support, but if it closes above the support, maybe that could be like a liquidity grab before, you know, like while having the London Open, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. I think if this is the liquidity grab, it's gonna be yeah. But I don't know at this point. But either way, I mean, I suppose you could have taken sells. We would have got 15, 16 pips in a matter of a few seconds. So, yeah, I'm not really sure at this point. what's going on here. All I know is we're back in that range, so I suppose we gotta wait for proper confirmations at this point. But yeah, GJ looks wild.
Yeah, to be fair, like it did, like a range, it's really expected, because when you look on the daily, on the 1 hour, that 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 range on the, like previously on the 2nd of September, it's been a really like a messy range. Also, like that's where we've had that massive bullish, where we did made a new high at 142,660, and then obviously we retraced all the way, and that was like a fake out on the 4 hour. So that could be a reason to why we rejected, and that's probably one of the reasons why I wanted to see a close above 142,030, because then we could fill that wick on the 4 hour, and yeah, it's just a clean candle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, above 142 we have nice clean ranges at that point, so that makes the most sense. But we'll have to see what happens here. We may consolidate and then, like yesterday, get a later on breakout, which is something that we're gonna look for here today. But we need to wait for candles to close, because now we can see how we've rejected this area. So same way for sells, you know, you don't want to be just jumping into sells because, you know, price did a fake out necessarily. A lot of times that can work out, but yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna need to wait. And I think for sells, because the stop losses are gonna be so big, maybe like the entries are gonna need to be off the smaller time frames. But let's wait and see here anyway. Took this trade with profit. Could you please review what could be improved? Yeah, sure. If you send the chart, I'm more than happy to take a look. Take a look at the FTSE here though, while we're waiting. Let's go from the 4 hour. So looking on the 4 hour time frame, this could be a liquidity grab for the FTSE to continue further bullish. Otherwise, if it's creating some resistance, could continue down and fill this wick. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Well, 1 hour time frame is at a support right now, so you would need this support to break, and then this low can get retested. We also have a resistance up over here where price has clearly been consolidating. So if we break out above this resistance, there's a very high chance at that point that we can continue moving up to at least 6792, which is around what did I say that was? 17 points away, not too bad of a range. And then for sells, you know, we have like a 15 point range. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. Yeah, 30 minute we can even adjust this as zone actually. There we go. Awesome. So now we have a bit of a slightly larger range. And then yeah, buys make sense, but we do have an area of issue over here, so probably want to be cautious of that. We'll come back to FTSE. But guys, if GJ is doing something and I'm breaking down another pair, don't feel rude, just say. I'll come back to it. It's hard flicking through pair after pair after pair. Okay, let's go GCAD now. So looking at GBP CAD, looks like GCAD's moved bullish on the higher time frames. Let's just clear all analysis. Looks like GCAD's broke the high of the previous daily candle. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hours just continuing moving bullish. And it is approaching a resistance, not too much further away. It's around another 24 pips away. So there's a good chance that it could reach to that area. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. The issue is we are at a 1 hour resistance right now, which is why we're seeing this pullback. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. Yeah, we're seeing quite a deep liquidity grab here on GCAD, same as GJ. Right, so what do we want to see is like a support being formed on the smaller time frames, and then I think a good range is going to be this area up to 1.74300 on GCAD. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good range if it can create some support in this area. Okay, we looked at GCAD, Euro JPY. Looks like Euro JPY is still consolidating. Oh no, the 4 hour time frame trying to create some resistance. So if the 4 hour candle can create some resistance over here on Euro JPY, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for EJ to continue down based off the higher time frames here today. I think EJ would be a great move, because since it's broken out now, not every time is it going to do a break and retest. So if this 4 hour candle can close bearish, let's take a look on the 1 hour, because we're going to need to start see some resistance forming. So in theory, since we came in the range and then came back out, I mean, if we break this support at any point, the 4 hours just going to continue moving down. So I think at that point would be a great opportunity for Euro JPY to continue bearish. Yeah, I think that's going to be, as long as it stays bearish on the 4 hour, then EJ should continue down. So I think that's going to be a really good pair to keep an eye on, because we have support over here, and then once you break this area, then we have a nice further clean range at that point. This first range is around 10 pips, not great, but I think based off the higher time frames, you know, it makes the most sense, like a 30 pip range. As long as the 4 hour can go bearish. Okay, GJ's trying to go bullish here on the 30 minute. But in theory, there's no confirmation yet. Just gonna need to wait at that point. Buys would be stupid as well over here, since, you know, it's still closing below the range. Stop loss is huge. So, yeah. Man, I was super tired last night. Just hit the pillow and I was just conked out.
You go to bed late?
It's not necessarily late. Like, I go to bed around 11:30 most nights, and I can get up. Like, I can do 7 hours sleep. You know, it's not too bad. But if I have a bad sleep, then it affects me, because then I didn't get enough. You know, so I didn't really have a great sleep last night. So that's why I was like, yeah, struggled to get up this morning. But yeah, once I'm like kind of, I need like 20 minutes and then I'm like alert, you know.
Yeah, like for me, like I wake up and I'm just awake straight away. Like, I have to get out of bed. I just can't stay in.
Yeah, no, that's not me, man. Unfortunately. So it seems as though, if we look on the 15 minute, the 15 minute candle closed below this area. So it's a little bit tricky at this point, because if we're breaking this high, there's the possibility that, you know, it's just going to go bullish. If we take a look on the 30 minute, I definitely want to see a 30 minute candle close above this area. A 15-minute candle is also going to make sense. The only issue is we've got this rejection area here as well. But at the same time, let's say since this candle closed bullish, this candle could close bearish below this area, right? Let's say it can close like somewhere over here. I think you could anticipate, and when I say anticipate, I mean anticipate the next candle to come down, break this support and continue on. Because if this was a liquidity grab, then we're going to come back above this area. If this wasn't a liquidity grab and these rejections are, you know, what actually potentially may happen on GJ, and we may come down a bit based on the daily, then this candle is going to respect this area, closed below, closed bearish, and then this would be what we would call, like the booby trap candle, where it was going to come down, but it retraced in order to grab more liquidity to then continue that move, because there wasn't necessarily enough volume at the time. So if it does do that, I think you could anticipate, and I say anticipate, price to continue down, break support with volume, and then continue further down at that point. So I think this is a little bit of an important area. A lot of times I see this candle just come down and fill the wick, which happens a lot, which is what it's doing right now, in fact. But if it closes in your direction, then that's going to be a great opportunity. But let's take a look on the 5 minute for a sec, because maybe the 5 minute is going to present something here. Well, I suppose in theory, if the 5 minute candle closes bearish, it's creating a resistance. But I think the 5 minute in this particular occasion isn't going to be a strong enough confirmation. So, yeah, I think the best, like I say, that idea that I just presented there, if the candle closes bearish, that's going to make the most sense, because then I think at that point we can continue down. Because then that would be the 30 minute closing back below this area again at London Open. So, yeah, I think that's going to make the most sense.
I mean, even like when you look at the 5 minute time frame, it still respected that support, because I'd see it as like a liquidity grab, because it still closed within the support. We didn't have it'll be just interesting to see how we're gonna react to that resistance that we created.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I'm so focused on the bullish bias, sometimes you forget the little indications that price is going to give you that there's going to be some form of reversal, or the indications price is going to give you that, maybe it's not going to, in effect, see right now, I recognize the structure because I've seen it happen a lot of times. So when I see a 15-minute candle like this that comes all the way down and then closes back in the range, I'm like, okay, yeah, could be a liquidity grab, but what's more likely the outcome? Well, the more likely outcome, since we did a fake out, right? You got to remember, this is almost a fake out, a huge rejection of the upside, right? I see this happen time and time again. This 15-minute candle could just come down and fill this wick and continue on. And there was no real place to place stop loss. There was no confirmation, just pure experience. But if the candle closed in your direction first, then it gives you confirmation, right? So if this candle closed somewhere over here, we get confirmation that the next one's going to continue down. But out of experience, I know that this candle can just run and fill this whole wick, just based off the fact that when candles do a fake out, this was a fake out, a lot of times it's going to create some resistance back in the range to reestablish the range. And that's kind of what's happening here. So in theory, this candle could run down, like I say, or close, and then it gives you an opportunity to expect the next one to break us out and continue down with volume, right? But at the same time, again, we're not really sure. We haven't got confirmation for that. But that type of structure is something I see happen a lot of times. Even above areas, like, let's say we were looking for sells here, right? You can get this same structure. So if I just focus for a minute on, let's say, that structure here we have, right? Just there. Imagine visualize that this candle here broke support like this. So this candle came down, broke support. This structure happens so many times where the next candle is going to break the low, wick down, and then it closes like a booby trap candle. And then if the next one can create a resistance over here, then the next candle is going to fill that wick and continue on. So I think experience as well. You're going to see a lot of things happen. But yeah, this is what I'm kind of looking at here right now. This is the idea I have in my head. So let's wait. But you're right, it could be a liquidity grab if this 15-minute candle closes back above this area. I'd 100% agree. just one of those liquidity grab pullbacks, and then the continuation. 100% I would agree with that. But certain things need to happen on the smaller time frames for that to be confirmed. Okay, let's see what gold's doing here while we wait anyway. Okay, so gold's retracing after tapping into that support. So I suppose we just got to wait and see here on gold. GCAD. I think if GCAD breaks this high right over here of the previous 15 minute, I think it's going to be moving bullish. Euro JPY. This kind of same structure here in Euro JPY. Very similar. But yeah, looks like Euro JPY is going to potentially continue moving down, I think, here. It's 4 hours looking good for EJ to continue down. Euro NZD also looking good to continue bullish. But yeah, let's see what happens here with GJ.
I'm thinking maybe like the 4 hour needed to create a bit more of a bigger bottom wick.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, look on the 4 hour, it looks really good to head up.
Yeah, EJ does, yeah. Sorry, not EJ, GJ, yeah. On the higher time frames, I agree with you. But the smaller time frames right now, like I say, we've got 6 minutes here, right? If this 30-minute candle closes above in 6 minutes, we can look for buys. Obviously, where's the stop loss going to be? It's probably going to have to be based off this 15-minute candle. If we was to look for buys at that point, it's the only place, you know, stop loss can be kept for the bias to play out at that point. Well, we've got a few minutes here anyway to wait and see. ECB president speaking 9 a.m. Yeah, I think since we're looking at GJ, it's not too bad. But for Euro JPY, yeah. Oh man, I'm debating whether to get like half an hour's kip after the stream. Is it bad to sleep during the day, do you reckon?
I mean, sometimes you have a nap and you feel good after it. Sometimes you just don't. You just feel worse.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Thing is as well, once I'm awake, I'm not really one to look to go back to bed, you know what I'm saying? But it's just this today, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling tired. So it seems like we are coming back above this range. So maybe Salim's idea is correct. But again, this candle didn't close bearish, I suppose. So what we need is this candle to close bullish at that point, for us to look for buys. Take a look at the 5 minute. Oh yeah, look at the 5 minute structure. Makes sense. But we need to wait for this 15-minute candle to close because we need somewhere to be able to place stop loss for, you know, the idea to work. Gotta wait. Gotta wait for confirmation. Coming back below the range here. We've got a minute left. We have a minute left. I think. So I think if the 30-minute and the 15-minute can close above this area in a minute's time, then I think we could take buys, expecting price to continue bullish, breaking this minor resistance over here, and then keeping the stop loss below the 15-minute candle. Let's take a look on the 5-minute to see if we have an... Yeah, the issue is we don't have much place to reduce risk. That's my only issue. So maybe gonna go like a smaller lot size on it, because it's a little bit more risky.
Or maybe to like wait for you know, on the if this 15-minute goes bullish and then we break the high on the next 15 minutes, maybe if we create a bottom wick, then once we flip bullish, maybe we can use that bottom wick as a stop loss. Potentially.
I think that's gonna be... I think that makes sense, but it could be a bit too aggressive. Whereas if this candle closes, I mean, if the next one obviously wicks down, that's perfect. But yeah, I think, yeah, maybe you're right. A break of this high right over here is going to make the most sense. Because then if the next one does wick down, yeah, okay. But I want to, let's see how it closes. But at this point, I'm looking for buys, if that makes sense. So... yeah, I think if the next one breaks the high, I think that's going to be a really good idea. Because then if there's some form of pullback, yeah, I think a break of the high is going to be a good idea, 100%. Because then if it breaks its own low, we can close 50% at that point. But yeah, it seems as though it was a liquidity grab. I think this could move pretty quick, so... oh, there we go. Oh, I got slipped a little bit. Got a little bit of slippage. That's fine. Okay, so I'm in buys at this point, but I got slipped a tiny bit. So I'm going to keep the stop loss originally... oh, thank you very much for the subscription. I'm going to keep the stop loss originally below the previous 15-minute candle. We're going to target 142 and then see if we can let, you know, like a runner run at that point. But yeah, I think at this point we should continue moving up. But I got slipped the tiniest bit. Yeah. take a look on the 5 minute, because I suppose if we do break this 5 minute low, that it doesn't make sense for price to do that. So this could be an area where we're going to close positions, but let's just wait, let it play out for a second here. But I think buys are incoming, because if you look at the 1 hour, if it breaks this wick from beforehand, then I think we're heading up at that point. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, everything's bullish. The 30-minute closed above this area after that rejection. Most people wouldn't be in buys because they'd be saying, okay, well, the stop loss is too big now. So I think price should continue moving bullish at this point. So I think we can, kind of target this high point. But if we break through this area, then this is going to be a good day here.
Yeah, I think when it goes, it's just going to go. Like,
Yeah.
push quick.
Yeah, I got, literally, it broke the high, like, but it slipped me by like a pip. Yeah, I think if it's going to go, it's going to go. You're right. Because we should have some volume now. Because since we closed back above this area, I mean, there's such a high possibility now for this 30-minute to continue the move up. But of course, we never know. We never know what price is going to do. So I'm always prepared to see how I can reduce my risk. But yeah, the first 5 minutes closing bearish is not the end of the world. Here we go. I think it should continue moving up at this point. So once it starts to break these wicks, then I think we're away. Here we go, moving into some profits now. Oh, nice. We're seeing a little push here. Come on, GJ. 142 incoming. Then we're going to see a nice volume push here. So what I want to do is on my magic keys, I want to put a... I want to put a partial TP. I'm going to set it for 10 pips. And
yeah, I've done that as well. It's the first time I've used it.
Yeah, we're going to do 80% at 10 pips. Yeah, see, so if this candle breaks its own low at this point, I'm immediately closing 50%, you know, because since now we're moving into some profits here, we're breaking above the highs. So I think, yeah, we're going to need to be cautious, clever. I don't see any reason for it to break its own low at this point. funny how as soon as I'm in a trade, I just see the number of people watching slowly start creeping up. Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with that. Is what it is. Like I say, I always say it. I'm not here for the people who want to copy. I'm here for those who want to learn. Oh, here we go. Come on, GJ. Is 142 incoming? I think 142 is incoming. Just need a little bit more of a volume push here and we're away. But either way, this 5-minute candle's closing strong. It's a healthy 5-minute candle. It's got around a minute left. I think the next one should also continue moving up. But either way, whenever you see price moving into profits like this, you know, you can start to feel a little bit more comfortable about your risk and how much you have on the plate. Because at the end of the day, when price is moving into profits, I know it's only like 3-4 pips because the range isn't very big, but still, you know, you're still visually looking, okay, well, now I really want to see it continue, because if it breaks its own low, I don't want to take that possibility of a deep pullback, you know. So we're going to really have to expect this candle to continue its move up. It's having some issues here on the smaller time frames. No trade is guaranteed. But I think in the last 5 minutes, hopefully we should see that continuation. Because it's only the first 15 of the 30 as well. And the 30 looks super good to continue up to 142 at this point. Obviously, the only issue is these rejections. But now, since we close back above, there's no reason why we shouldn't continue up. Here we go. If it breaks its own high, it's going to be amazing. Oh, wow, moving here. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, it should come up and fill this 4 hour wick fill. I think this is incoming now. 142. I think 142 is incoming. The last 5 minutes of the 15. Oh, look at this 5-minute candle close super strong. Well, we're sitting in a little bit of profit here. Price is moving in our direction. So now we just want to be making sure we're being cautious. And yeah. So I think my idea is when I secure positions, I think at that point, I'm going to leave that 20% to run and see where we can go for the day. 3 minutes left. I think 142 is going to be coming up here very soon. Come on, GJ. Will you move your stops to current 15? I will when we're like somewhere up over here, because then at that point I know that, okay, we're about to hit TP. I can start to bring stops below the current candle, but you never know, you know? You never know what can happen. If this candle flips, a lot of people are going to be sitting in drawdown, so, or stopped out early. So, yeah, I think I'm going to hold on here.
An auto break even set as well.
Nice.
Don't know you could do that.
Yeah, yeah. Did you
For
sort?
8 pips.
Did you sort the update?
Nah, I still ain't done it.
No.
Nah, I need to.
Yeah, you need to do that, man. Trust. The update is sick.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we're gonna get one of these volume pushes later on in the session here today, which is obviously like what kind of the zone, like timing that we're in now. But it seems as though this breakout has happened later on after London Open. Just look on the 5 minute. Just don't want it to pull back too much. We do really want to see candles continue printing. See, the thing is this area does have some issues, but I was really expecting volume, to continue us up. So still holding at this point. But yeah, we need this 15 minute to close above this minor resistance either way. Seems to be having some issues in this area. So who knows? Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's the last 15 minutes of the 1 hour. I don't see why we shouldn't continue moving bullish in the last 15 of the 1 hour. The 30 minutes got 15 minutes. The 15-minute candle's got a minute left to close. If it closes strong, then the next one should also continue. But it's just this 5 minute. Was it quite a deep pullback 5 minute candle? Quite a deep 5 minute pullback. But it may be a liquidity grab to continue higher, which would be super good if it is. So no complaints yet. Yeah, once we start to break through this area here where clearly price is just stalling a little bit, then we're away to 42. And then, man, if we can reach 142.300 today with runners, that would be beautiful. Just beautiful. Here we go. Is that 5 minute flipping in the last few seconds? At least closing like a weak 5 minute, preparing us for the next candle. Yes, perfect. Okay, so 15-minute candle closed strong. I think at this point, we can start to tighten our stop loss up at this point. Because if we look at the 30-minute, if we're really expecting price to continue, it shouldn't be breaking the 30 minutes own low. It has no business coming back to this area. So I think it's going to be okay to be tightening up the stop loss a little bit here. We should just see a little wick down and then a continuation. Should see. I emphasize should. Because again, we can't control the outcome. A lot of people say it, but it's so true. Okay, if this 15-minute breaks the high of the previous 15-minute, then I think 142 is incoming here today. Yeah, if this 5 minute breaks the high right over here, then I think it's coming. It's going to play along very nicely. See what gold's doing while we wait. Gold's still in that range. Man, gold's still ranging here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Come on, GJ. It's definitely having some issues in this area. 5 minute broke the high. I think it should continue on. Come on, 5 minute. Yeah. Yeah, now we should be continuing up 100%. Now this 15 minute, it has no business coming back to our entry. It has no business breaking the low. Here we go. Is 142 going to be incoming here now? After minutes of waiting and suspense, can GJ now complete the move to 142? And we can have a good trade here today. Come on, GJ, what's going on? Where's the volume at? Maybe it's going to be one of them like last minute, just huge volume pushes. Who knows? But this needs to get moving. We've got a minute left for this 5 minute to close. If it closes as it is, it's definitely creating nice structure to continue on the smaller time frames. So just keeping an eye on that. Oh, here we go. Oh, lovely. Come on, GJ. Now we're seeing the volume. Come on, GJ. Just a little bit further. Sometimes you feel like you got to talk to it just to get it to go. But in terms of structure on the 5 minute, just perfect. As it plays out, it just, builds that confidence from looking at smaller time frames and recognizing the patterns that, we see and we trade on the higher time frames. But yeah, I think in this last 10 minutes, especially if we can break above 142, then this is going to be a perfect situation. Oh, come on. See how the 5 minute, at least the 5 minute closed bullish over here. Hopefully the next one's just going to continue that move now. In the last 5 minutes, is it? No, last 10 minutes of the candle. Oh man, what's going on? GJ, what are you doing? Hopefully this is just a liquidity grab on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, I see. I think at this point, if the candle's coming back in the last 8 minutes after breaking the high, it's
very tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, see, yeah, it does get tricky at this point, because if it's breaking the 15-minute low, its own low in the second half of the candle, it makes it very difficult in terms of your probabilities, so I'm just trying to be cautious. So I think if this 5 minute starts to break its own low and I get the impression that it's gonna come nearer my entry, then I'm gonna close 50%. But if this 5 minute candle was a liquidity grab and it starts to break its own high, then this could have been just a pullback to continue, and we're all good. But looks like it is. So that's good. So I didn't have to close positions there. Oh, lovely. Thank you. 5 minute. Very beautiful. That's what we like to see. Okay, can we get 142? See, yeah, I think at this point it's going to be a great idea to bring stops below the previous 15-minute candle and then let the rest run. Awesome. I'm up about 8 pips at this point. I'll be securing positions at 10 pips because now we're starting to expect this area also to break with volume. Because if we break through this zone, man, we are away. 4 hours going to continue bullish. Daily's going to continue bullish. Here we go. We ain't even hit volume town yet. Ooh, perfect. Beautiful. There we go. I think I've just had partial TP about to be hit over here. Awesome.
Oh, I think spread didn't do it for me.
Didn't do it for me either.
Oh,
That's fine. If the candle comes up to break its own high now anyway, I get the 10 pips. But it's fine because either way, you know, we're in profits now, so just have to wait. I didn't get to secure. I had my partial TP. It literally came. I mean, I don't even know if it was like a micro pip or what, but it was right near it. Oh no, GG.
but mine has actually touched it as well.
Yeah.
But it's just not activated.
Oh, don't do me like this, GJ. What's going on? Oh no. Nah, I don't know. Let's just wait. I mean, I can't really do anything now. We had profit there, man. It was supposed to work.
I think probably he's reacting to that rejection on the left from yesterday.
Yeah, possibly. I think it
Because
should break through this zone though. That's what I was kind of expecting. Since it's because even if you look from a daily perspective, like I mean, the daily candle hasn't even moved that much, and it's only come up to the high. Like it should be breaking the high and, you know, continuing on. So I don't think the buys are over yet. I mean, we still got the last 5 minutes of the candle here. The next one did close bullish as well, so it did a liquidity grab. I mean, look, I've set my TP now, just a little bit less. So if it comes back to that area, I'll secure. But either way, I'm still treating it like it didn't quite hit full 10 pips. So we just treat it like any other situation. You know, that's it. That's all you can do when situations like that happen. But look, we called out the buys. We waited, so it plays out. I mean, yeah, that's just it. See how this last 5 minutes goes here, because sometimes the last 5 minutes is where you actually get the most volume, you know, and then if it comes up to break its own high, then that's pretty good. I was really expecting once the daily broke that daily high, it would just be away anyway. But let's wait and see here. Yeah, see, it's coming back. It's coming back at this point. If this 5 minute can fill this wick, then we're good. Then we are good over here. There we go. I should come up and fill this wick, and then I can have my 10 pips here. Nearly there. Nearly there. Yeah, I think this 5 minute candle should continue on. We always seem to get a nice push in the last few minutes. Especially if we break above that area, man. This is going to be a great day here today. Runners should run really well. Just watch the 5 minute here, making sure the 5 minute. Yeah, if we break this wick, we're going to continue on. Which is, this wick is basically where I now have set my TP, which was 10 pips. Come on, GJ. Just a little bit further. If it's going to do it, it's going to do it. Oh, here we go. Is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? I think we're about to get hit over here. Come on, man. Don't. Oh, I literally got there nearly again.
No,
What's going on, man? Come on.
I feel like just closing out,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna hold it.
Oh, yeah. Have we got the bottle to hold? Uh, uh, oh, it's screaming it. It's literally. Yay!
Yes,
There we go. Perfect. Boom. We got there.
love it.
Love that. Right, now I'm putting stops at break even and letting 20% of the position run. Awesome. Love that. Perfect. Let's let the position run now. See where we can get to on GJ. I think 142, 300. If that's incoming, I'm going to put TP up over here. I think it's going to be a great day for runners today. But yeah, so if you caught this trade, guys, drop a like on the stream. Should have secured at 10 pips. You should be letting your runners run at this point. I'm going to try and see where we can get to from a weekly perspective. I'm going to try and see if I can let this runner run for as long as I can comfortably feel that I want to let it run for. Especially if we're closing above 142 at this point. I think pressure is just going to continue on. We're now starting to see the volume come in a bit later on. But yeah, perfect. Really great trade. It took a while to get there. It toyed with us, but we got there in the end. So yeah, pleased about that. I went for a less risk approach today. Just took a smaller lot size, did a 4-lot position, just because if you think about it, the entry was a little bit more aggressive than usual, you know, because we was really expecting price to continue in that direction. We had the high point over here, but yeah, it just worked out perfectly in the end. So we got there in the end. 30 minutes should be closing above this area here, and then I think we're going to see a nice continuation up to 142. But then imagine if we can continue further to 142. 550. I mean, runners could run really well here today. And we have a potential 50 pip move coming today if we get those confirmations. So yeah, secured 10 pips, letting a runner to run, and that's all we can do. I haven't left a runner to run in a while, but already knew that today, based off the higher time frames, based off that weekly, I was gonna let positions run at that point. So yeah, perfect trade. So that's Wilksy's first win of 2021.
Yeah, back in profits for the week now.
There you
Happy
go.
with that.
Nice.
Well done, Wilksy.
Cheers. Did you take it to them?
Yeah, I took it, but I closed a bit early.
Nice. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
because I used to do that all the time. I used to close out early all the time. But actually, the only thing that it's taught me is just growing the confidence to slowly be able to hold positions longer. So I wouldn't even stress about that one, bro. You're good, man.
Yeah, like I was trying to hold it today. I was like, I'm gonna hold it this time.
Yeah.
I was looking at the 5 minutes. Yeah, go on.
No. You go.
Oh yeah, so I was looking at the 5 minutes, and obviously, like the way it's like the pace that he was started moving, like creating that bottom wake on the 5 minutes. If you can see on one of the 5 minutes that we've had, it kind of broke the previous one, and it was just about to break the other bearish 5 minute candle, and I thought I just didn't like how it was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe we was just gonna reject that resistance that we've had on the left.
Yeah.
But again, that's an experience, you know. I took the trade. I haven't lost anything, but
Yeah.
I just haven't secured that 10 pips.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, right, it boils down to this. With every trade that is a win or a loss, you're going to learn something. And all you have to make sure that you do is you have to really look at that trade and just be like, okay, well, this is how it played out. Remember how you felt at that moment, and then almost reassure yourself, like, okay, look, I anticipated this, right? Next time, I need to have the confidence to let my position run to whatever, you know? Like I just said, right? It literally came not even a micro pip below my 10 pips. Now, let's say it didn't hit my 10 pips and it started coming back to my entry. I would treat it like a trade that hadn't hit 10 pips because it didn't, right? I have a rule that I secure at 10 pips. If it didn't hit 10 pips, then I'm not going to secure a little bit less in theory just because I want to take the win, because you have to also stick to your plan. And 99% of the time, if price is 9 pips 8 pips up, it's going to go to 10 pips. You just have to be a little bit more patient. Like on this particular occasion, the volume just came in very late. But I would just say, look, if you've taken a win, you may not have secured as much as you like. And trust me, I've been there plenty of times where I've secured 5 pips. I've secured at 5 pips. I've secured at 6 pips. I remember once it hit 10 pips. I went to close the positions on my magic keys. It didn't signal quick enough. Didn't work. And then pulled right back to my entry. And everyone else took a win and I didn't. But I didn't really care because I knew I'm going to treat it like any other trade. So I just closed 50%. Or secure positions, at 5-6 pips. So don't worry, man. Honestly, it's gonna take time.
You see, like when.
Go on.
Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, just all I was gonna say was, every trade is just another experience. It's like playing a match. With every trade, it's like playing a match. It's like, what's your favorite sport, Salim?
I'd say football.
Yeah. So it's literally like, when you're coming up to take a penalty, right? If you hit the crossbar, if you miss, it's just a lesson learned. You should angle yourself more. You should keep the ball low, whatever. There's always a lesson to be learned, and it's the same with a trade. The execution, the exits, the entry. It's all practice. It's like it's all timing, and that all comes with practice and experience. So don't worry about it, mate. I'm telling you, the progression that I've seen over from you since joining is incredible. So I think you should be pleased with the way things are going so far. So don't put yourself down, even if you didn't get to secure as much as you would have liked. Honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No worries, mate. Sorry, what was you gonna say?
Yes, I was gonna say so last night when I was making a plan, what I wanted to see is a close. I was waiting for buys above 142.030. Then obviously this morning, seeing how we had that liquidity grab, and then we started retracing back to where we was. I thought, right, that's going to be a better entry than the one that I planned for last night. But then I was managing risk on the 5 minutes. Well, once I've had the entry, because I've had an entry at 141.928, 927.
Okay.
But then I just didn't like how one of the looking at the 5 minutes. So when the candles are moving, you see the candles moving really fast. So when it did flip bearish, I just didn't like how fast it was flipping. I thought maybe we was just gonna head down. And then the one fear I've got at the minute is being on having being on profits and then having a drawdown,
Yeah.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so what I tend to do is if price goes into profit, let's say 6, 7 pips, 8 pips, and then I see price start coming back to my entry, that's the point where, you could just take a little bit off, even if it's 25% of the position, it just takes that little bit of, tension off, it just takes that little bit of okay, well, I was in profits, I had money, now it's coming back to my entry, I have nothing. So am I going to want to leave that full risk in place? Maybe not. Different people have different comfortability, and I think the key is just finding out what your comfortability is, and that just comes with, again, just taking the trades and just remembering how you feel, and whatever you're comfortable with doing, you will do in the moment. So that's just it. So you tried to take buys in the Asian, did you say? Salim. Have we lost Salim?
On a runner.
He's done a runner. Yeah. No, when he comes back on, we'll have a chat with him. But yeah, no. Today's trade, I think it was beautiful. Obviously, it stalled a bit to get there, but in theory, it came right to where we wanted it to go. So yeah, I think at this point I'm leaving 20% of my position to run. I think if the daily is going to continue bullish at this point, I think it's going to be a great opportunity. Because look at the 4 hour. The 4 hours closing in 52 minutes time. There's a possibility the next 4 hours is going to wick down. It could stop me out. Just is what it is. But in theory, I think since we're breaking above 142, if candles are respecting this area, then I think the runner's going to run really well today. And we're coming nearer and nearer to like pre-New York with this volume. So we should get like a continuation is what I'm trying to say. Let's take a look on the 5 minute here. What's going on the 5 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Just have to wait and see, I suppose. But yeah, either way, secure positions. So it kind of sets me up that if the runner runs, then like I'm in a position where I'm back in profit for the week. And then if the runner doesn't run, then if I take a win tomorrow, I'll be in profit for the week. So yeah. I think Monday, Tuesday were just tough days, man. Tuesday's buys should have played out. It was really frustrating because Tuesday's buys was like such a good setup. It just didn't play out. But I mean, that's just how it goes, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for this to flip. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if this flips, man, we're gonna be good. Can start to bring stop plot, start to trail it on the 30 minute or the 1 hour, whatever. But I'm just gonna let it run for the minute. Okay, sorry. Let's read a few questions here. Foe's in the building today. Welcome, Foe. Congrats, thank you. Great trade, bro. You are very knowledgeable in your work. Thank you, Slade. I appreciate that. Perfect. Lovely H. Thank you. Euro is down all over the board. Maybe this has something to do with it. I don't think so. I think this is just GJ from a technical perspective, fundamental perspective. I think that's what's kind of being focused here. Obviously, Euro JPY, if we take a look at Euro JPY, Euro JPY is coming down to the support actually. And in fact, if the 4 hour closes bearish in 50 minutes time, man, I think EJ is going to continue down. It's kind of like create that same structure that GJ's just done on, but being bullish, So, but yeah, no, I think Euro should continue down. But I know there's news coming up, isn't there? Oh, Euro NZD came to target and pulled back. Oh, it's flipping over here. Man, I think runners can run really well. If this flips bullish, man, I think it's going to head off here big time. Oh, yeah, look at this structure on the 5 minute. Perfect. Even if it closes above this area, like it should create some support and then continue that move up at that point. So here we go. Hold on, I've got a couple questions here. Thanks again. Was down 25 pip, ended up 12 pips. Oh, nice. Okay, well, at least you got to secure. At least you got to get some profits there. Oh, look at this. We're breaking the high over here on the 15 minute. I think GJ is going to continue bullish. So yeah. What do you consider the best website to pound yen fundamentals? I'm not talking about economic calendars, but to see like yesterday's big boom. Well, I mean, you've got like Financial Juice. If you go to Forex Factory and you go on news, it's actually going to give you the same sort of news as Financial Juice and other websites, but it's probably going to be a little bit delayed. We tend to see this, we tend to see this happen a little bit after. Oh, GJ's heading up. Yeah, I think the daily is going to be off. I think the analysis played out beautifully here today. And from last night, this was all called out from the pre-Asian session analysis from last night.
Yeah, like when I come on today, I just saw the 4 hour just closing above, and then I was like, at some point in that 4 hour, it's going to go.
Yeah.
Just trying to get in the right time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think as well, because I was looking at, okay, maybe I could set like a buy stop, something like that. But then I decided not to, because I was like, I should only do that when I'm up for the week, so I can try and like leverage some of the profits. But when I'm in a minus to start the week, I don't think that's a good idea. I think I need to stick to the session time and making sure I'm taking trades at those times of volume. So yeah, I decided to stay out. And even I decided to stay out of these buys here. You know, when price was pulling back, I was considering entering in on the retest. But good thing I didn't, because, you know, would have got stopped out, and then it continues in that way. So being patient today really did pay. I think it paid for all of us. So congratulations to everyone who was patient today, because you got paid, and that's it. So, but here's the thing: don't give your money back to the market by trying to re-enter in, or getting in another trade on another pair. If you've taken this win and you're leaving positions to run, I would just let runners run, and just, man, I'm gonna as soon as it hits, you know, 10:30, 10 o'clock roughly. If we haven't reached there by then, maybe a little bit later, but yeah, just gonna call it a day at that point. Go and enjoy my day. Yesterday was Gov Bailey speaking about negative interest rates. Yeah, I think he was speaking about it, but I don't think it's something they're gonna bring in. Like, it doesn't make sense for finance, you know, for them to make the rates negative. It doesn't make sense, you know. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I know it was going against me. I decided to hold till it turned around. Well, I mean, that's up to you. I think I wouldn't recommend doing that personally, but since the higher time frames were all bullish, then in theory, you know, it could have just been it was a liquidity grab. So clearly you sat in this drawdown, which is fine. Well, it's not fine, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I would just say the good confluence that you had was that the higher time frames were all bullish. But in normal circumstances, I wouldn't have recommended doing that. But okay, it worked out today. So yeah, I think for next time, just learn to you know, manage to trade, because if it did go the other way, you would have felt pretty damn awful. So that's what you got to focus on. I know it went well today, but in other circumstances, it may easily not. So just a bit of a tip there. Okay. If we get lucky, our runners could really hit hard today. I believe that to be true also. Accidentally closed full trade instead of 80% at 10 pips. Still good though. Oh man, yeah, it just happens. But either way, you secured your profits. So Freddie, man, just go and enjoy your day, bro. You know, if you've taken a win, even if you've not left runners to run, just, yeah, go and enjoy your day. Gold just being gold right now. Oh, what's gold up to? Yeah, let's check out gold. Oh man, yeah. Well, we did anticipate this move. Let's take a look on the smaller time frames here. See how we could have. Yeah, not really much confirmation for this. Hopefully the 5 minute will pull back, create some structure, and then a continuation. I'd like to watch it. I saw Wicks Don't Lies breakdown yesterday of gold on the 5 minute, and I was like really intrigued actually how in the times of volume the 5 minute can create such structure that's actually, you can, you know, visually see it, that has happened before in like the higher time frame. So I took a look at that. I was like, that makes sense. So yeah, see what happens here with gold. But I think the good target for gold is going to be 1847s incoming.
I was going to say on GJ on the 15 minute, we've like closed above with like a weak bearish. So if we break the higher, if you didn't get in the first position.
Yeah, it could play out. It could play out. Yeah, it is a weak bearish candle. We do see this happen a lot of times. But you'd want to see it break in the second half of the candle is the best outcome. But yeah, in theory, Kelsey's right. If it breaks this high right over here, it can continue moving up. Oh, since it's breaking the high, I think it can continue moving bullish. I think also you want to take a look at the 5 minute time frame as well. Yeah, I think you want to see this first 5 minute close bullish, because we do have a minor resistance here. But yeah, no, that looks good to continue up. 30 minutes also flip bullish at this point. So some people would have taken buys with a stop below the current 30 minute, which is kind of the same as taking the 15 minute break high. and then you're expecting this candle to continue up. You do have enough range. You just got to make sure the smaller time frames are also, you know, continuing in that direction. But looking at the 5 minute, it's just creating perfect structure just to keep on going. So yeah, we'll see here. HFX, I know to learn to trade without indicators. Oh, perfect. So you know how to trade without indicators now. That's awesome. Because, you know, sometimes those indicators is confusing. RSI. And so please, can you give me some advice? Thanks. One of your student here from Saudi. Oh, nice. Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I want to go to Saudi Arabia. Oh, sorry, Salim. I haven't seen that. Oh, no, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Don't worry. Whenever you're ready, you come back on. Oh, here we go with GJ. I think GJ is going to continue at this point. Yeah, I think it should continue moving up. Let's take a look. Actually, no, it's fine. We said there was clean candles. Yeah, I think if you found them, I think you've already answered the advice yourself. I think you've advised yourself because you know, you were talking about a RSI all confusing. Then don't use them. You know, you don't necessarily need indicators to tell you where price is going to go. We didn't use one indicator here today, and we could just tell by the candles that price was going to continue bullish, you know. So I think learn to read candles and focus less on the indicators. I would just, to be honest with you, the one indicator that I used to use, I know Kelsey knew that I used to use them, was the EMAs. But actually I found that unless you're swinging or you're looking at the higher time frame, I just don't find them to be useful. The other problem I had as well was, let's say I'm looking for buys right now, you know, I would be looking at, oh, is it reacting off the EMA, you know, but the EMA isn't necessarily like, the candle can't see the EMA, you know, the candle's not looking at the EMA like, oh, I have to stay above. It's not necessarily like that, you know. It's about price, the price and the zones. So yeah, oh, look at GJ now. I think our runners are going to run beautifully here today. So my runners up about 20 pips over here. We got runners running. Fantastic. Yeah, just lovely. Yeah, runners are up around 20 pips right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure half of my runner at 142.300, and then if it can continue on to 142.540 and do that weekly wick fill, then the other 10% can also continue, but obviously we'll see. But yeah, runners are running beautifully now. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's just setting me up for tomorrow. If tomorrow we have a good trade, then this week would end up being a great week. Only reason they do is to promote spending when we open back up. Yeah, well, I think they should just open us back up and they wouldn't need to encourage anything. Hello man, just joined the stream. Can you please explain the trade you took? Yeah, sure. So basically the buys were taken on the anticipation for the high that was created yesterday to get retested and for this high to break and continue moving bullish. So we had resistance over here at 141.860. Price came up and closed above this area in the pre-London session before closing back in the range. So when price closed back in the range, we could identify that it reacted off this level. So then we needed to wait for this level to break before we could look for buys. We then had a 30-minute candle come up and close above this area. So then we had the bullish bias in mind at that point. We then take a look on the 15-minute and we looked at the 15-minute and we said, okay, well, if the next 15-minute candle can break the high of the previous 15-minute candle, there's a very high chance at that point that price can continue moving up, and then we could have a better stop loss placement below the 15-minute candle and expect it to continue up to 142. Came to 142, secure positions, leaving a runner to run at this point. It's also creating nice structure over here to continue higher up on the 15-minute. So I think if someone's in buys right now, you know, they was up around 5 pips. If it can continue on, you know, you can secure positions around 142, 180, and then let the rest run to 142, 275. It's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah, I think so. We've got 7 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. It seems as though it's going to close strong. It's got a strong body over here. So I think it's really going to pave way for the next one. If we look at the 1 hour as well. So looking at the 1 hour, when you see this kind of structure, the 1 hour has no business breaking its own low at this point if it's going to continue up, right? So that's another thing as well that we're kind of expecting here. Oh, nice. It's going to continue. Anyone else add positions or get in more buys over here? I think that would have been a beautiful idea. Oh yeah, look at this now. 6 pips. Even if you re-entered and you want to just secure, you got another 6-7 pips over here you could just secure, and boom. Oh, look at this. Lovely. I think GJ is going to continue up to 142 300 here. Oh, I think it's incoming. Are we going to get a 35 pip runner here today? Yeah, maybe I'll just secure everything up over here, not be stupid. But I got a runner up around 25 pips right now. Yeah, lovely. Man, what a day. What a day. Yeah, I'm up around 25, 26 pips. Look at this 15-minute entry as well. It was just perfect. Oh, yeah. So if you took that buy on the break of the 15-minute high that Kelsey identified here, awesome. You should be securing positions again, and then again letting a piece run at that point. So give a shout out to Kelsey for calling out that buy, because it's something I didn't even notice myself. So this is perfect. Last 5 minutes should continue pushing price up.
Nice, Wilksy.
Yeah, Wilkie's on the ball.
I mean, to be fair, it played out really well, because obviously now we've got really clean traffic coming up on the left. Like looking at the 1 hour, looking at the 4 hour as well. We left that range that I was kind of like worried about. So I think now, even if we had to, let's say, retrace or retest the low, I'd say we should not break that support. Where you've had the entry, the where you've had like your entry trade. We should not like break that level.
No, you're right. We shouldn't even be coming back below 142. If we're gonna continue, for 142 now is gonna be respected, and even if you look on the 15-minute, this support here is gonna be respected too. So I think the next one should tap into 142 277. I've set a TP at 142 270 just to be a little bit more cautious, and that's gonna be my runner, and it's gonna be a perfect day here today. I'm up around 27 pips right now.
Oh, Harrison, I was thinking about getting in that break at a high, but I was like, nah, just for this first trade, just stay out.
Yeah.
I was only going to add like a 0.1, but
well,
to be fair, like, I was thinking the same. I was thinking to have like another entry, but like I just seen like I've missed the move that I was looking for, so I thought I'll just stay out. I'll just watch it, and I'll just embrace it and just come back another day and look for another big move like that.
This structure happens all the time. So just remembering this is like enough. This move here is gonna pay you like a lot of times when this plays out. So I mean, look at this, right? And then look at this. So we always talk about candles move the same on all time frames. Look at this structure here, and then take a look at the daily. What happened the other day? See, bullish move up, weak bearish candle, huge rejection, break of the high. Continuation. So it's exactly what's happening on the what's exactly happening now happened on the daily. It happens on the 4 hour. It happens on all time frames. So you can even anticipate those moves of the higher time frames, and then scale down to the smaller time frames to look for entries at that point.
This chart, like looking at it now on the 30-minute or even on the 15-minute, it's got so much value because you've got so much to identify. So you've got the retest of the high. You've got the liquidity grab that we've had pre-London Open.
Yep.
You've got the continuation.
Yep.
You've got what also Wilksy pointed at, the break of the high, for the continuation to go up. That's really good chart there.
Oh, here we go. Is GJ going to continue?
Yeah, it's a real nice setup.
Oh, that is
The
just
whole thing.
perfect. Yeah, this move here as well is just beautiful. Yeah, that is really quite something. It's amazing. So yeah, I've got my TP set 142, 270. Hopefully we're gonna reach that, and then wow, it's gonna be a crazy day here today. I think my runners are gonna put me back into profit here for the week. You know, and then tomorrow just allows me to just take a nice easy trade and but yeah, no, great shout on that break of the high there.
Did anyone get in on that on YouTube?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's going to make a great highlight here today. But yeah, anybody getting those buys? The break of the high. So even we provided a stop loss, break of the high, stop loss below the previous 15-minute candle for around 10 pips. Easy 1-to-1, and yeah, just awesome. And, you know, it feels great as well to have the confidence to leave, you know, runners running to targets. And when you see it hit your target, it's like, you know, you anticipated all of that to happen, you know. So it's just great.
So is it just that break even at the moment, like your position, or?
Yeah, it's just that break even. If I really wanted to, I could start to bring my stops and trail it. Oh, yeah, one person caught that trade there, Kelsey. Yeah, nice. If you really wanted to, you could trail it on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute. You know, you could start to bring your stop loss below each new candle that keeps on printing. You know, it's literally up to you. But me personally, yeah, I've just got my stops to break even, and yeah, I'm just debating here whether just to secure something, because you never know if it's gonna do that last squeeze or not. It's only like another 7 pips. Oh, if it does it in the last.
Just see. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, if it's gonna do it in the last 10 seconds, that'll be great here.
Yeah, what I'd be looking for is
to
see how this 30 minutes closing, because if we have like no wick at the top.
No, close of a wick.
Probably,
yeah, close of a wick. Should continue moving bullish here. I think it's going to continue running. We've got so much momentum. It's fantastic.
That's a really good trade, that is.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, fantastic. I'm nearly up 30 pips. I'm just debating whether to just secure here now and just be cautious at 28 pips.
If it was me, I'd probably secure a bit and just maybe like live like 5% of whatever you're about to secure. Just running, just to see.
I think you're right. Oh no, I think it's incoming here.
More to squeeze out.
Yeah, we're gonna get that last bit of lemon juice. Ooh, you know what?
Well, what you could do is let's have a look at the 15-minute. Oh, that's a big candle, that is.
It is a big candle. I think it's definitely incoming, but it's one of those. It's like, do I want to toy with myself while I've got 30 pips in the bag? I got 29 pips in the bag right now. You know what?
Or what you could do is put your stop loss at the low of the 5 minutes, because then if it's going to come back, at least it's not going to get as much. Yeah. If anything, it'll just carry on.
You know what?
I've closed. Yeah.
I closed it.
When it broke its own low.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. It's toying with me now. But there we go.
It's nice to see it running like that. You know, it's a good trade.
Yeah, I closed it. Well, either way, I got 28 pips. So fantastic.
Runners.
For a runner, 28 pips is great.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if it was like on a full position?
Yeah. Imagine if that was full position. Probably should have just left the full position. Yeah, I got 28 pips. Got 28 pips. Do you know what? You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm happy to close there. I said to myself I was going to leave a runner to run. And even now, if it hits target, I think it's more just a certifying that, the whole move was anticipated. And I also think, so even though we took a win today, I'm still going to say to myself, okay, how could I make this trade better? Well, again, like what Wilksy pointed out, is, could have added a position right over here and would be up around 15 pips again, so looks like now it's going to continue on after we closed out our positions. Yeah, there you go, it's on its way. But either way, I think it was still a great trade, so I'm not bothered at all.
See, what I like about these big candles is, like, when we have these big candles, even if we created the resistance and then we look for like another retest, you always have like a clear candles to play. So I don't really get disappointed sometimes, looking at how big the candles are.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'll be a huge disappointment where you see, ranges, small candles, because then that you're more likely that you're not going to get a trade within that day. But seeing that, like, that there is potentially, there could be a chance to have another entry later on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it does seem like it's going to continue up to our target. So if it touches 124.270, that's where I have my TP. But yeah. Okay, let's answer a few questions here. So Jayan added more positions after the 1 hour break and 980 retest. Oh, nice. Perfect. So Jayan should have secured some nice profits here. I think 142.5 is reasonable. Yeah, definitely. Quick 15 pips. Nice. I was going to Wilksy, but then thought now, because we haven't been there since September, so not sure on targets. I think so. I think the daily is going to continue. I just wanted to secure the profits I had in the bag, especially as it now puts me in a position where if I have a win tomorrow, that's going to put me in a good place for the rest of the week. And then, we can see what Friday brings as well. But I think, I think it was all anticipated. I think the difference now, what I will say between now and September, is the fact that in September, we had no Brexit deal. There was no deal. There was no fundamental reason why we would continue bullish. I think that's why we rejected this area. And in terms of we're coming back to this area now, it makes sense because now we've got the deal. We've got that fundamental change for that to take place. So yeah, that's what I would say based on that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with today's trade. I think that was a fantastic trade. I've secured everything at 80%. Don't know how runners work yet on MT4. It's not, runners just mean, that you're letting a position run. So like, for example, you would have your stop at break even, or you would trail it on the 30-minute time frame, right? That's all up to you. But technically, just a runner is just like pretty much, that you're letting it run. It is what it says. You're letting your position run, and you decide when you're comfortable with closing that runner. Whether you want to just turn off your computer, let it run, set a TP, put stops at break even. It's risk free. You're not going to lose anything. It's just whether you're going to get stopped out at break even or not. You don't set runners. You just close your 80%, and then you put your stops at break even. That's just literally how you set a runner. Yeah. No, I know you knew what it was. I just just explaining, because not everybody does. We might have a newbie in here or whatever. So yeah, you're just letting your position run. And sometimes it's worse to watch it, like what I just did. If I just sat here watching it, I'm gonna be like, oh, do I close at 28 pips, 29 pips? That can happen, which is why I tend to not leave runners. But again, it's all about me as well as a trader, breaking my comfortability. Oh, you don't know how to close 80%? I see. Well, for us, or for me, I have magic keys, which allows me to close 80% with this little tool that I have. Otherwise, the only way to do it from MT4 is, depends if you're doing it from your phone or not, because don't ask me on the MT4 platform, because I don't have a clue. I never used to do it on there. I would do it from my phone. So I would just like press close position, modify how much you want to close, like as percent of the lot. So let's say I had a 4 lot running. I would to close 80%, like you could close like a 3 lot, or you could close like a 3.2 lot or whatever, and then you would want to let the rest run at that point, and then put stops or break even. So yeah, just take some of it, then trail 5 minute. Yeah, you know what, I just felt comfortable with just securing the bag, as they say. Yeah, I felt good just being able to do that, to be completely honest with you. Do you change the stop loss under every 15-minute candle or 5 minute? No, that's just up to you. Like, I don't necessarily do any of that. I just necessarily, like in this particular example, the stop was originally somewhere down over here, and then as it moved into profits, I brought the stop loss below the current candle to reduce risk. When I've been able to secure positions, I tend not to like trail it on the 30 or the 15, you know, like, yeah, I tend not to do that. But again, like, that's something that you can do. That's something that you can do. Hello, just got your channel on recommendation. Good job, keep it up. Thank you, Vision Linkers. I appreciate that. No phone. I will have to have a good look and find out. Yeah, have a look on YouTube. YouTube should tell you. YouTube should let you know. So yeah. So yeah, awesome. So we can close this now, because I'm outie. And just in time for the coming up to the close of the 4 hour as well. Man, I wonder if Thursday's candle is going to be big candle too. It's into a break. See, imagine if the daily just closes like this, just above this area, then it's just so easy that tomorrow's candle should also continue moving bullish. You know, it's just straight buy. It's just been straight buys ever since the 5th of Jan. It's just been straight buys based off the higher time frames. I know I took a couple sells that week, I think, but since then the higher time frames have just been straight bullish. I think it was a good job we got out of there, Kelsey, because it didn't hit TP, and now it's coming down and retracing. Yeah, I think it was a good job. 5 minutes going to need to create some support. So I'm happy with that. Awesome. Alright, I think I'm going to go make a drink anyway. I haven't had a drink all morning, so I think we'll stay till like a little bit later after 10 o'clock. We'll see what price does in a little bit. And I'm here for like moral support. Oh, look at gold. Gold 30 minute, it retraced. Let's take a look on the 15 minute. So 15 minute time frames made a low. Now let's take a look at the 5 minute. Let's see some structure. Now, if we look at the 5 minute, candles are all printing bullish. So in theory, if you get a resistance formed on the 5 minute on gold, gold should continue down. But, I mean, it may correct the move. Who knows? We're not really sure at this point. I suppose the 1 hour candle also is coming to a close. but it also may need to do a retest. But yeah, we'll come back on gold. But I'll leave you guys with GJ here. See what GJ does. I think if it can create some more support on like the 15-minute, then it's gonna continue further up at that point. But yeah, I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes, guys. Just bear with me. I need to have a drink or something. So yeah, no worries.
What was that, Harrison? Sorry, I had a phone call.
Oh, he just went for a drink. He'll be back.
I knew
in a minute.
you would. All right, no worries.
We'll say that, yeah.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so just like looking at GJ, like, for the whole week, it's been really good. So obviously we broke the highs on the left on the daily, on the weekly as well. Just, now what I'm expecting to see is probably we'll have some sort of retracement. We should respect that 142.050 area. I was questioning like why have we been seeing a lot of bullish momentum? Then yesterday, the Governor Bailey, he was speaking from the Bank of England, and he mentioned that obviously there was talks about having the negative interest rates.
Oh yeah.
So what I think it is because obviously that's a sign. To think about having the negative interest rates, that's a sign of a decline on the economic growth. So probably by doing in a negative interest rate, it's just trying to get more people to get loans, and then obviously because one thing he spoke about is he said that like the consumer spending have dropped massively, which means a lot of people are saving their money. So by doing the negative interest rate, he's trying to get people to get loans, and then obviously that will kick the economy slightly again. I think that was the idea behind the a negative interest rate.
Yeah, for sure. Like, obviously, if you've got your money in a savings account, you're getting negative interest rates as well. You're going to want to spend it. So yeah, it's definitely trying to get the economy going again. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
difficult at the moment because like you would have to be buying things mostly online, and obviously people aren't going to be buying as much as they normally would. I wouldn't think.
yeah, true.
But yeah, like it makes sense. Like obviously this week we were all expecting bullish momentum to occur just if we could get above 141, and I think now we got above it. I think we're good. We're good for the rest of the week. Like we're almost on the weekly going to fill that wick at 142,800, and then
Yeah,
from there, I don't know if we'll reach 144, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it looks good today. I think we'll hold, like you said, we'll hold 142, 142-ish, and yeah, just maybe need to see some pullback now. That's maybe why we're seeing this bearish candle.
yeah.
How much was this push up? Let's have a look. It was only like 40 pips, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, like the way prices moved during London the last couple of days hasn't been the best, has it? So it was nice to see
Not
today.
really.
Like when we were coming down and we made that liquidity grab, I was like, oh no, like, is it going to be another day, like just kind of ranging?
Yeah,
But yeah,
like
it was
like
nice.
yeah, like last night when I was doing my whole anticipation on the pair, and I decided not to trade anywhere between 141 670 to 141 142 030, and obviously I didn't really have any of that consolidation last night. I didn't see some of the consolidation that we've had over the Asian session, but then seeing it now, like I thought the 5 minutes how it had that liquidity grab, but it still closed above that support. So I knew that we was like if we respected that support and if we broke the previous resistance, the recent resistance that we've had on the lower time frame, we should continue. So the way I did see that entry, I did see it being too early, but in a way you'd have like a better entry to like hold runners.
Yeah.
Because my initial plan here was to have a buy at 142.030, but yeah,
Yep.
it is what it is. It's just because looking at it now, like the entry is really good because then we would anticipate for the volume to fill that, to reach that resistance that we've created, and then obviously that means the daily will flip. The daily will break the previous resistance on the previous daily candle, and it's just gonna push further up.
Yeah. I was the same. I was looking for buys above 142 really, but yeah, like I was looking at the 4 hour and there was only like an hour and a half left, and I was like, we should get a push soon. I didn't after that huge like wick down into like 141,700, and then it closed in above most recent resistance. I was like, and you called it out. I was looking to find obviously an entry on the close, but I did wait for the break of the high as well because on the 15-minute there was that small resistance at like 141,920, and I was like, what if we don't actually break these like choppy levels to the left. So it's a good shout from you actually, because it
Yeah,
quite well
thank
could
you.
have just continued to range.
Yeah, to be fair, like when I had that entry, my stop loss I'd say was about 5 pips, because I thought if we're gonna reject this, probably we're gonna range again, and then we're gonna have some sort of volume at NY open.
Yep.
But I thought if I'm risking less, and there is a high probability that we're going to continue up, and then looking at that liquidity graph that we rejected massively the previous support, then I don't see why the trade's not going to work. So I thought it's just, trial and error really.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know you didn't obviously manage to like catch much of it, but like the more you take trades like this, you will. Like I was the same as you. Like a good few months ago, I was quite in the trade. I was quite like a bit shaky and stuff. But like as the confidence grows, I think you definitely feel more like calm and collected in the trade.
Yeah, true.
Just a matter of time, mate. Because like today, it was hovering around like 2 pips, 3 pips, and it moved up to like 8, and then come back down to like 2, and it was just, yeah, it was annoying. But I suppose
Just looking at it now, like, yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, just like, I suppose when you don't have them like clean ranges to the left, like you are going to have problems like breaking levels.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
I was just looking at the 5 minutes and why I did think that we was going to reverse. I'm just trying to get my head around it, but it could have been on that 5 minutes. It could have been the price reacting to the resistance that we've had yesterday.
Mm.
The highs that we made yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's why we did see the 5 minutes. Like a bearish candle on the 5 minutes. And I think if I did look back now, what I should have done is I would have probably waited or even put my my stop loss at a break even. And I know probably it's too early, but I think it's just like a confidence, it's just, it takes a while to get more comfortable. And I was seeing that like the trade has gone into favor and it went to plan. It's next time I'm more likely to hold longer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think obviously like looking at that 5 minute, there was that 5 minute that tapped into that high to the left from yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wick broke the previous 5 minutes, and like that is gonna shake you up, I think. And I think it's important just to try, if you can, to like sometimes just stick on the 15 and 30, because the 5 minute will do that a lot, and it will like confuse you, and then you'll get out, and then it'll go your way, and you'll be frustrated.
True.
Yo, I'm back.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey everyone.
What's going on, bro?
All good, man. Good call today.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, looks like it's running nice. Looks like the 15 minutes trying to create some support. Then the next 15 minutes should continue bullish.
You still have a runner?
Nah, I closed out. I closed at like
Nice.
28 pips.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What's gold doing?
Have you covered your losses for the week?
Yes.
That's nice, man. Well played.
Yeah, so basically the idea is then tomorrow to just take a nice easy trade, and but
Fully a week.
yeah, and then sometimes like Fridays they can be a good move, but you just got to decipher between like some days it's some Fridays it's not the day to trade, but there's that odd Friday which was actually last week. There was that Friday last week, which was a good day to trade. So we'll just see. But I'm just putting it in my head, obviously, that tomorrow is just a nice, easy day at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the buys on Tuesday, like, that should have been, it could have been better, you know? Like, for me, it was, like, the first attempt literally should have played out, didn't. Like, because I've seen that happen a lot of times. Like, that's, like, a very high probability trade. Didn't play out. And then the second attempt I was going to give the buys, literally, we had, 5 seconds left. And then the candle closed with no wick to the top on the 15, the 30, and the 1 hour. So if it didn't do that, I would have taken buys, and it would have been a beautiful move. So again, we could have had a great week, but yeah, I don't know. The week's not over yet, so we can't dwell on that. But just in theory, like, this week could have been much better. But either way, I kept the losses small, so this is why it's allowed me, one win, and we're back. So. How's your week been, Ibs? Is Ibs gone? Maybe he can't talk. Okay.
I've got to head off now, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers for that session.
Yeah, no
good.
worries, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
See you.
Yeah, take care.
Thank
Thank you.
See you, mate.
In a bit.
Okay.
You know, Harrison.
Yeah.
You know when he went to make a drink, what I was saying to Wilksy is, like, I was wondering why we've had that nice push from yesterday and from today. Obviously, like, the weekly, it's bullish.
Yeah.
The daily's bullish. So then I think one of the reasons why, because obviously we are in lockdown, and you think that the volume will die down a bit.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of shops are closed, the retail, the hospitality. But just thinking, yeah, like yesterday, the Bailey was speaking, and he mentioned about the negative interest rates.
Right.
And he mentioned something that he says basically one of the benefits from having the negative interest rates is trying to, so obviously having the negative interest rates, that's mean like there's a declining on the economic growth.
Yeah.
So because he sees that, like, while we're on lockdown, there's a lot of people saving money, and that means that is less consumer spending.
Yeah.
So by bringing the negative interest rates, he's encouraging people to take loans.
Yeah.
That means that there is the consumer average spending will be up again.
Yes.
That's one thing he mentioned, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
I was reading through it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to go through with that, but I mean, yeah, effectively, like, exactly what you said. Like, if they go to negative rates, then obviously that's to encourage people to get loans and things like that to try and boost the economy. And when you were talking about obviously prices bullish and with the lockdowns, I mean, we had the same idea, didn't we? Back in I think it was like November. We was really expecting, when the second lockdown got announced, GBP to go bearish, but it didn't, because obviously I really believe that the market hasn't taken into account any economic damage of these lockdowns yet, because otherwise why would price be going bullish in effect? Because if you think about it, with the people, the millions that will become unemployed from this, or the hundreds of thousands bare minimum. I mean, there's already been hundreds of thousands already, but I would say that it's going to be in the millions that will be unemployed. And then, that has obviously a big knock-on effect on the economy as a whole, because if people are unemployed, then they're not paying their mortgages, then they're not spending money in the economy, like you say now, because there's an official recession. People aren't going to spend. So this has to be interpreted at one point. If you look at the 2008 financial crash, GBP hit one of its lowest points or whatever. That's fine, but why would that not be now? Because we're going through quite a serious recession, right, in this country. So yeah, I believe market hasn't interpreted that data yet. I think it's going to interpret that once everything's kind of settled down, because if you think about it, it's so focused on the vaccine rollout. When we kept getting that vaccine news, look how much GBP pushed bullish because of that optimism. We have a vaccine coming. It's here to save the day. We had Brexit as well, Brexit got done. So this is why GBP, I think, from a technical and fundamental perspective, is now going bullish, where it couldn't break those previous high points before because we didn't have that. Now we have that fundamental. The other thing as well is once, obviously, we get out of this mess, which I don't know when that's going to be completely honest with you. But when we do, I think that's going to be the moment that it's like, okay, now let's look at the damage that was caused through putting a country through strict lockdown for however long. So to be honest with you, it just seems as though, and it feels as though investors and institutions and the markets, it just feels like everybody's more focused on getting this vaccine out, trying to get through the storm, rather than noticing the damage that's been done on the way. It's almost like once we're out of that rainy, now let's assess what went wrong and what's gone wrong, and then that's the moment. It's like the economic damage that has been done is just going to be probably unbelievable. I mean, if you think about it, Christmas was the time where they could have allowed shops to be open to try and scramble back some of the losses probably been, taken over the year or whatever. Because it's the busiest time of year for most retail shops, the busiest time of year, and they were forced to close, and most rely on those time of years to be able to survive as a business, let alone to turn over a profit. So to be denied that, I think it's going to be it's been catastrophic. It just hasn't been realized in real terms yet, and I don't think it's been quite emphasized on in terms of media and things like that. Because if obviously the media, they're just focusing in on the health and the deaths, the daily death toll, the daily infection rate. But imagine if the media every day was pummeling in, well, now we have another 10,000 people unemployed, and then in the next day another 8,000 people are now unemployed, another 2,000 people today are unemployed. It's that same rhetoric that now that's being implemented into your head, that more people losing their jobs. So if you're in a position where your job's unstable, you're going to start panicking for your job. It's that fear, So they're pushing fear with COVID and the cases and the deaths, which is why it seems to be everybody's focusing on that and not the other consequences that come with the restrictions, So it's that same thing. If the media were pushing the same idea, if central banks were pushing the same idea really and truly about the real economic damages, like if they released a report at the end of every week to say how many businesses have gone under, how many people have lost their jobs, how many people have lost their homes, I'm sure a lot of people would feel very differently, but they don't tell you that because they don't want you to understand how deep the consequences can be of locking down a country, So if they did do that, they would change a lot of people's minds. So it does make me, this is what's always made me think there's obviously a reason why they don't do that, is because they want you to focus just on the deaths, on the infections. They're putting it in your face every day. That's why I've stopped watching most of the news. I only watch like financial kind of like news stuff on online. I don't like to watch BBC News and all those type of media outlets because they're always just pushing this fear, it's always about COVID, it's always about the deaths, and we could do that about anything. You could do that about anything, and you'd scare people, So once they start talking about the economic effects, which will happen because the media, they like to play like both sides a bit, and probably once we're out of the storm, and then they say how, oh well, now let's look at the damage that was caused along the way, then it will be realized. And I think at that point market will also realize the economic damages. I mean, what's the point of having Brexit? What's the point of having all these things going on if at the end of the day your country is crumbling at its knees financially? You know, we've got the highest level of debt that hasn't even been interpreted. You know, we've just borrowed more than we ever have done. You know, so again, that's going to have a huge effect. That hasn't even been taken into account, it would seem. So I'm waiting to see, once this all settles, if there's going to be some form of, you know, big correction. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I suppose it's, and again, I may be wrong, but that's the point. You know, it's not what I think, it's what I see. So that's why I've been sticking to what I see, because if I stuck to what I think, then I would be wrong, because I thought the market was going to look at all the lockdowns as, you know, this is like the biggest economic consequence that you can do to yourself. You know, it's like self-harm. It's, you know, like putting your country in a lockdown is like self-harming, you know. It's literally that. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say on it. But looking at GJ, I think GJ should continue up if it can break this high of the previous 15-minute. And then I think the 30-minute will continue on. But I'm kind of glad, really, that I closed out when I did. But it seems as though it should continue moving up.
Yeah. I mean, looking now, because obviously, like you mentioned about them, you know, not releasing the data because they don't want to scare people off and everything. Like when you, like, there's certain points that I've been looking at. So obviously, on the first business day of every month, we get news on the final manufacturing, the purchasing manufacturing index.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past 2 months, the forecast has been better than the actual numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously November and December, I'd say probably numbers has been good, because obviously there's more, you know, sales going on, like the Black Friday sales, you've got Christmas sales. So for I'd say for February to see the numbers, the figures for, you know, from the January month, it'll be interesting to see what the forecast is going to be and what the actual numbers we're going to see, which that will be the first day of the next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. It's not a red folder, it's the orange folder, but it'll just be interesting to see if that will make any reaction on the market, to see, you know, just to see it in general.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. I think, as the more economic data that comes out in terms of manufacturing, GDP, unemployment, the picture will get bigger of the damage that's been done. I mean, we've got 3 million people in the UK that are on no financial support. They fall through the cracks of the conditions for support, financial support by the government. We've got 3 million who are not receiving a penny from the government, and that's quite a lot of people, you know. That's a lot of people. Okay, let's answer a couple of questions here. If this 15-minute candle breaks the wick with a closed candle, then it's good entry point, because the resistance we have is not strong resistance, I think. Yeah, I would agree with you. The only issue is that when you're measuring the range, there's not enough range, because there is a resistance when we look left at this area at 142 to 80. There is a resistance there. So really, I think the move's happened. Over here is kind of buying at the high. You also have a resistance not so far away. So if you're looking for further upside, you'd probably want to see a break above 142 to 80, and then you have another clean range at that point. But yeah, that's kind of what I would say for the moment. What would you say your average a month percent? Your average return? Or what is a realistic percent goal a month? Well, I mean, for me, I mean, like an average week might be like 4%, 5%. You know, that's like a fairly average week. A good week might be like 8%. Sometimes I do 2%. You know, it all differs. I just try not to for me personally, I try not to focus on monthly goals, monthly percentages, monthly this, weekly this. I just try to focus on taking good trades each day. I just take each day, you know, I take each situation different. And then I kind of make my own average based on performance and things like that. So typically when I'm doing better, I have a better week, which is obviously obvious, right? But I try to stay away from having percentage goals or profit goals. You know, I try not to focus on the return, you know, and more on, can I come to the charts? Can I find a good trade? You know, something that I can analyze, makes sense. You know, can I take good trading decisions? And just keeping it like that for me just helps me to find my own average. You know, when I first started out, that's the kind of, I'm not saying anybody can't have that aspiration to have monthly goals. Like, of course, that's completely up to you. But for me, I found that when I was focusing in on what percent could I do for the month, or how much did I want to make this week, I almost put that pressure on myself, you know. So I don't know. It's up to you.
So for me, I personally, I'm not looking for any, target for the month, because I think I'd say in a way the only a good time to look at target is when you start to see really good profit. Like if you start to see really good trades. So let's say, out of the week you're winning four trades out of five trades you're winning. Then maybe you start thinking about setting a monthly target. But if you're at the stage where it's at break even, or if you're not making any good like trades, or I'd say it'll be really difficult to just focus on making profits, because you're constantly focusing on the P&L rather than focusing on the actual setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing for me. I found that when I focused on the percentage, I'd never reach that percent because I focused on it. When I focused on performance, I reached the percent that I would be happy with. You know, like when I get that percent, or like, oh, I've done 8% this week, it's like, okay, that's because you're focusing in on the performance aspect and not the money. You know, I just think I think for me, it's the best way to go forward. I would advise people to go that way forward. But if someone wants to have a percent goal each month, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But for some people, it puts that little bit of pressure on. For some people, it makes them feel they have to reach that target. Otherwise, they're not a good trader, they're a failure. And you just don't want to put that pressure on yourself. But yeah, I think that's enough said on that particular topic there. Because it is just again, it's one of those things of trading that it's just personalized. There's no right or wrong answer. Anybody who tells you there is wrong, because there isn't. Trading is all about the individual journey. And yeah. Good day, bro. 15 pip, nice. Yeah, a few people caught some pips of us today. 14 pips for me, nice. I think Danny, nice Danny, very good. Is black bull markets regulated? Yeah, they're regulated in New Zealand, but with like regulated, non-regulated, it kind of like it differs, because let's say you go for like someone like FXCM, they're heavily regulated. They're a heavily regulated UK broker, so they will, they'll require a lot more, mandatory things and whatnot. But it's not like Black Bull are unregulated. But, they're kind of like offshore broker. They're based in New Zealand. They're regulated by New Zealand. There's a little bit, there's more leniency with regulations there. So, but they're a great broker. I know them, and they're fantastic. Vantage FX is also a good broker who I'm with currently. I do need to make the change, but I'm in no rush, because it's always going to be there. So yeah, I think it's just one of those. If I yeah, just one of those as and when. Clean power capture. Okay, not sure what that means. Thank you guys. Good trade today. Yeah, I think we had a really good day here on the stream today. Really good day. We're gonna be calling it a day here soon anyway. But yeah, I think it was a fantastic day here today. 100%. A lot of value being provided. Just the usual stuff, I suppose. But yeah, it's raining in old depressing England. Take a look at the 5 minute here. What's going on? So the 5 minutes consolidating right now. So 5 minutes consolidating. 15-minute time frame also consolidating. 30 minute. Yeah. It's a bit difficult at this point. Let's check out gold. Let's see what gold's doing. Oh, gold came back in the range. Gold did a fake out. GPP CAD. GCAD continued moving bullish. GCAD continued moving bullish. I think the buys were right over here at 830. 830 were the buys. For price to continue up. Let's check out Euro JPY. Did it come? Oh, it stayed in the range. But did the 4 hour close bearish? Oh, very weak bearish. Closed weak, but it still created a resistance. So in theory, EJ can continue down. But let's take a look at the smaller time frames. Yeah, smaller time frames, it gets more difficult. But in theory, it should stay below this area. Euro NZD. Trying to continue moving up. Yeah, I think GJ was the one and only good move here today, which is good for us. Yeah, we're going to call it a day here soon in a minute. We'll do a quick recap. Just going to finish my drink. Okay, let's do a little bit of a rounding off here to finish the stream. So, taking a look at... Oh, we've been in for 2 hours and 44 minutes. It's gone quick today. Okay, so looking at gold. Gold is technically still ranging. Now, on the 1 hour, on the 1 hour time frame, it's technically still ranging. So, what you would want to see is a 1 hour candle closing below this area. Something that we saw happen the other time on gold. I think it was, can't remember where it was. Oh yeah, that was it. It was somewhere over here. So many a times the gold tried to break support on the smaller time frames, but it was the 1 hour candle that broke and closed below. So in this particular example, I think if the 1 hour candle can break and close below, there's a very high chance at that point the gold would continue moving down and then eventually fill the wick. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. So when you look on the 30 minute, it done a fake out, but kind of how gold works sometimes is it can do that and then continue on, because if we can't break above this minor resistance, then all we can do is continue to trickle down. Let's take a look on the 15. On the 15 minute, we're not really sure at this point. You probably want to see price starting to close back below this area, 1855. And then on the 15-minute time frame, there's a good chance it can retest this low and then continue down, which may mean, you know, that the 1 hour needs to still close below this area. So that's kind of what we're looking at here on gold. FTSE 100 ranging. The 1 hour tried to close below. The 30-minute also tried to close below. Seems like it reacted to this minor area here or this zone here, but couldn't. Came back up in the range. GJ, obviously we had a great trade here on GPJPY this morning. Ran for around 30 pips. So it was a really nice move, I think, for GJ. So looking at the structure now on the 5 minute. If you look on the 5 minute, we're consolidating. If you take a look on the 15 minute, if this 15-minute candle can close bullish and the next one breaks the high, I think at that point it will continue on to 142, 280, and then, you know, at that point we have another range over there. So I think that would be really good. So I think GJ can continue moving bullish. Let's take a look at GCAD. Okay, looking at GCAD. Yeah, it looks like GCAD's trying to also move bullish. If it breaks this high over here, it can continue on at that point. Where's the next target? It's probably going to be this. It's probably going to be somewhere over here. This rejection area. So it's like another 15 pip range. Not bad. Take a look on the 15. Yeah, you'd want the 15-minute candle to close above and then wick down and continue on. Yep, we're going to come to Euro JPY next. We're just going through all the pairs just to finish off. So now looking at Euro JPY, we'll do a nice breakdown here for John. Looking at Euro JPY, so we said the 4 hour candle closed bearish. So we do have a resistance formed here. So since we have a resistance formed, there is a higher probability for price to continue down. Higher. Does not necessarily mean it will. Let's take a look on the 1 hour, because the 1 hour is going to give us some more information. Now this was the area, the range, price came down, made a low, retraced. A bit messy at this point because we closed back in the range and then the 1 hour came back below. So in theory, the best option for Euro JPY, which I'm gonna 2 minute, don't want that. The best option that I'm gonna say for Euro JPY is gonna be to wait for this support to break, because if we break this support at 126.520, you have this lovely, nice, clean range for sells. This would be your nice range here for sells. The other thing as well, while it's in this range, you have to think, while it's in this range, right, you don't know whether the 4 hour is going to come down, because if the next 4 hour continues bearish, then we have to be in this zone, because then the next 4 hour would continue to rip and then hit the bottom of this area. But if the current 4 hour that's open does not respect the weak bearish resistance that was created, then it can easily come back up into this range, which at this point would invalidate this move down. Okay, so I think it's very important to wait. So I think the best option for Euro JPY is going to be for this support to break at 126.520. I think that's going to be the best option. Taking a look on the 30 minute. Now looking on the 30 minute, 520 is still a good option. You do have this minor support here, but due to these rejections, if you get a candle closing below 126.520, I think you're going to have a really, really easy sell coming down to 126.390, 126.400. Now, it's not a massive range, but for Euro JPY, you can easily get your 1-to-1 and let runners run at that point. Looking on the 15-minute, the smaller time frames, it's just kind of consolidating over here. So it's a bit messy. So either way, it's in this range. I think if it does start to close back above 126,600, then the 4 hour is going to come back in the range, and then it should hit the top of this like resistance over here. So let's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah, it makes sense. So I think from a 30-minute perspective, if it comes back in the range, I think you're going to have nice easy buys to fill this range over here, remember. So if we measure this range, this is only like a 9-pip range, but again, sometimes you can easily get a 1-to-1 or whatever with Euro JPY. You just have to accept when you trade Euro JPY, the ranges are going to be smaller. So you just have to be making sure you're securing positions, maybe like 1-to-1, and then letting runners run is going to be a good option. So yeah, I think the best opportunity is going to be below 126,520. And let's finish off here with Euro NZD. Euro NZD is trying to move bullish. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, since the 1 hour is coming above this area, if it can continue on, then it's probably going to reach this resistance, which is around another 16 pips away. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. 30 minutes bullish. 30-minute has an area of issue here to the left. Take a look on the 15. Now on the 15-minute time frame, it has clean candles at this point. So, I mean, when you get more information, this is why sometimes you can take a look at your smaller time frames and you can see, okay, now it should continue, because in fact on the 15 there's nice clean candles, but on the 30 we had some rejection here, So I think with Euro NZD, if we look at the 15-minute, when this 15-minute candle closed above, if the next one could break the high, then I think continue on, and looks like Euro NZD should continue on at this point. But yeah, so either way, let's take a look at GJ here finally, just to finish. Yeah, so you would want this candle to close bullish above these two rejection wicks for the buys to be valid. Otherwise, it's just consolidating. The other only option is if this candle closes weak bullish and then the next one breaks the low, there is a potential that it could correct, but you have to remember that's going to be risky because the bias is still bullish. The higher time frame bias is still bullish. So you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be that one guy who's trying to be a hero and take a sell, and then you get stitched. So yeah, I think just wait for this candle to close. I think if it closes above these two minor candles, then it can continue up at that point. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming on. Thanks everyone on the Zoom. We're gonna call it a day here. So
yeah, thank you.
Yep, no worries, mate. I'll see you later. Take care. And to everyone on the YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you caught today's trade. Nice, great trade today. Ran for 35 pips. Perfect. So yeah, really pleased about that. So I hope everyone has a good day. No over trading. Be cautious. And we'll see you all tomorrow. 7:30 a.m. We'll be back tomorrow. So yeah, have a great day, guys. See you all tomorrow. Looking at GJ though, since this 15-minute candle closed bullish below this minor resistance here, I would say the buys become very difficult. Yeah, that's just my last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with. Yeah, I think the buys become very difficult. So yeah, I mean, maybe since we're breaking this low, we can continue down, but it's very risky. It's very risky. So yeah, thanks everyone. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you all tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bring your game tomorrow, guys. It's the last day of the week, or last day of my trading week anyway. And then Fridays is just a day to relax. So we got stop loss matters coming on this Friday. This Friday's coming on. He had a little bit of issues. He had some issues last Friday. Not had some issues, but he couldn't make it. So yeah, I didn't want to sound wrong. Yeah, he had some issues coming on last Friday, so he'll be there this Friday. So we have a guest coming on, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a good session. So yeah.